Hey warrior, pause for a moment and take a deep breath. In a world that never seems to stop, you've chosen to be here in this moment, listening and searching for something deeper. That decision already tells me something powerful about you. You're not just existing, you're striving. You want to build a mind that doesn't break under pressure, that doesn't surrender when life gets heavy. You want to grow into the version of yourself that can carry not only your own burdens, but also shine as a guide for others. And that's exactly what we're going to explore together in this video: how to build a strong mind, one that unlocks the full potential of your human spirit. A strong mind isn't about being hard or emotionless. It's about resilience, clarity and balance. It's about standing tall when the winds of life try to push you down. Imagine being able to handle setbacks without crumbling, to look at challenges not with fear, but with calm determination. This is what we're here to cultivate step by step through wisdom, reflection, and the timeless strength of philosophy. As we move forward, I want you to not just listen, but also engage. This channel is more than a collection of words. It's a community of warriors walking the same path. So take a second and share with us, where are you watching from right now? What time is it for you? As you're listening to this message, I'd love to see the answers in the comments, because it reminds us that even though we are scattered across the world, we're connected by the same desire for growth. And if this message speaks to your heart, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any future reflections designed to strengthen your mind and bring you peace. I also encourage you to leave your thoughts in the comments. What part of your life right now is testing your strength the most? Sharing it might not only lighten your burden, but also inspire someone else who is silently fighting the same battle. So warrior, let's step together into this journey. Your mind is the foundation of everything you will ever achieve. And today, we begin the process of making it unshakable. Life often feels like a puzzle with missing pieces. You try to fit everything together: your work, your relationships, your personal goals, but something never quite aligns. There are days when you wake up already tired, not just in body, but in spirit. You look at your responsibilities, at the expectations of others, and it feels like carrying an invisible weight no one else can see. If you've ever felt that way, know this: you are not alone. Every human being, no matter how strong they appear, has stood in that same place of doubt and heaviness. The first step toward building a strong mind is acknowledging that life is not about avoiding difficulties, but learning how to move through them with grace. Struggles will always exist. Bills will pile up, disagreements will happen, health may falter, dreams may stall. But the mind, when strengthened, becomes like a deep-rooted tree that bends in the storm without breaking. That is what we want to cultivate here. Resilience without losing gentleness, strength without losing compassion. So how do you start? The key lies in learning how to face your struggles without letting them define you. Imagine you are holding a heavy stone. If you clutch it tightly, refusing to let go, your arms ache, your muscles burn, and eventually you collapse under the weight. But if you set it down, step back and observe it, the stone is still there, it exists, but it no longer controls you. This is what happens with our problems. We hold them so close to our hearts that they consume us. The solution is not to deny their existence, but to create distance, to give yourself space to breathe. One practical way to do this is through reflection. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" That simple shift changes the entire emotional landscape. When you see hardship as a teacher rather than a punishment, you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become a student of life. And every lesson, no matter how painful, becomes fuel for growth. Of course, it's not always easy. When you're in the middle of heartbreak, or when financial stress keeps you awake at night, it may sound almost impossible to learn from it. Here is where empathy is vital. I want you to hear this clearly. It is okay to feel pain, to feel lost, to cry, to admit you are struggling. A strong mind is not one that feels nothing. It is one that allows feelings to flow without drowning in them. You do not have to pretend you are fine when you are not. What you can do, however, is remind yourself that this moment is not the end of your story. It is only a page, and pages always turn. Some people fear that if they let go of their pain, they will also let go of their identity. They've carried wounds for so long that the scars feel like part of who they are. This is where the negative angle emerges. The mind, if left untrained, clings to suffering because it is familiar. You may know someone who constantly revisits old failures, who tells the same story of betrayal or disappointment as though it happened yesterday. The danger here is that unresolved pain becomes a cage. Instead of shaping the future, they replay the past. But there is another path. Imagine if instead of carrying pain as a burden, you could carry it as wisdom. Instead of scars being reminders of loss, they become symbols of survival. This is the positive side of the same story. Your struggles are not wasted if they teach you resilience, compassion, and clarity. And when you carry those qualities forward, you not only transform your own life, but also touch the lives of those around you. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly sat in silence without your phone, without noise, and simply listened to your own heart? Sometimes the answers we need are not out in the world, but within ourselves, waiting to be heard. Building a strong mind is not about filling it with more noise, more worry, more tasks, but about creating stillness so that the truth can emerge. Now imagine yourself sitting by a calm lake at sunrise. The water reflects the sky soft and unbroken. That is the state of a strong mind, not the absence of ripples, but the ability to return to stillness after every disturbance. You may be thinking, but how can I reach that peace when my life feels like chaos? The answer is step by step. Start small. Choose one habit that nurtures your inner calm, journaling for 5 minutes a day, taking a walk without your phone, or practicing gratitude each night before bed. Small habits repeated consistently create an unshakable foundation. As you do this, you may notice resistance. A voice in your head may whisper, "This won't work. You're too broken. You'll always be this way." That voice is not truth, it is fear. And the way to silence fear is not to argue with it, but to act in spite of it. Every time you choose reflection over reaction, patience over panic, you are strengthening the muscles of your mind. Like training in a gym, progress is invisible at first, but over time, it becomes undeniable. This is not just about surviving hard times, it is about thriving beyond them. A strong mind opens doors to creativity, to courage, to leadership. When your inner world is stable, your outer world transforms. You become someone others can lean on, not because you never fall, but because you know how to rise again. And perhaps most importantly, you become someone you yourself can trust. That self-trust is the true foundation of a powerful life. The wisdom of ancient Stoicism echoes this truth. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Epictetus. born a slave taught that freedom is not given by society, but discovered within through the discipline of thought. To the Stoics, struggles were not enemies, but opportunities to practice virtue, patience, courage, and wisdom. When you adopt this perspective, every challenge becomes a chance to strengthen your character. You stop asking life to be easier and instead train yourself to be stronger. This is the essence of a strong mind rooted in ancient wisdom, yet alive in your daily choices. And just as the Stoics guided themselves through empire and exile, you can guide yourself through the storms of modern life. When people hear the phrase, a strong mind, they often imagine someone who never cries, who never doubts, who walks through life untouched by pain. But let me tell you the truth, that image is a lie. A strong mind is not an unfeeling stone. It is a living river, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, but always flowing forward. To be strong is not to shut down your emotions, but to learn how to carry them with grace, without letting them drown you. Let's begin by asking, what is a strong mind? At its core, it is the ability to remain balanced when life becomes unbalanced. It is the power to choose your response when you cannot choose your circumstances. It is the courage to admit, yes, I am hurting, while still deciding, and yet I will keep going. A strong mind is not about pretending to be unbreakable. It is about learning how to bend without collapsing. Now, how do we cultivate such strength? First, we must stop confusing suppression with resilience. Many people think that ignoring their struggles will make them disappear. They bury pain under work, distract themselves with noise, or numb their hearts with endless entertainment. But unresolved struggles never vanish. They only grow roots in silence. True strength begins with acknowledgement. If you are in crisis, whisper to yourself, I see my pain. I do not deny it, but I will not let it own me. This is the first act of mental courage. From there, we practice reframing our struggles. When a setback comes, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, how can this make me wiser? This small shift is revolutionary. Suddenly, the obstacle is not a punishment but a teacher. For example, losing a job can either become a pit of despair or an invitation to rediscover your talents. A broken relationship can either define you as unworthy or refine your understanding of love and boundaries. The struggle remains the same, but the meaning you give it shapes your future. But we must also be honest. This path has both light and shadow. On the positive side, a strong mind allows you to remain calm in the storm. You no longer panic when things fall apart because you have trained yourself to look for solutions rather than sink into despair. You radiate a quiet confidence, and people around you feel safer in your presence. This is the gift of resilience. It not only heals you, but it also supports those who walk beside you. Yet there is a negative side if misunderstood. Sometimes people use mental strength as an excuse for emotional avoidance. They think strength means never asking for help, never showing vulnerability, never admitting they are tired. This creates a mask of strength, but an inner collapse. If you've ever seen someone who appears strong on the outside, but secretly battles silent despair, you know how dangerous this misunderstanding can be. That is why true strength must always include compassion for yourself and for others. Let me speak directly to you if you are listening to this while facing your own crisis, whether financial strain, heartbreak, or a sense of failure. I want you to know that your emotions are valid. You are not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You are human, and in your humanity lies the seed of strength. Do not rush to erase your pain. Sit with it, understand it, and then when you are ready, begin to transform it. Here's one practice you can try. When a problem feels overwhelming, write it down on paper. Then divide the page into 2 columns. On one side, list what is within your control. On the other side, list what is beyond your control. Focus only on the first column. This simple exercise reminds you that not everything is yours to carry, and peace comes from releasing what you cannot change. Imagine yourself sitting at night with a candle burning softly beside you. You take a deep breath and whisper, "I am not defined by my struggles. I am shaped by how I rise from them." Let this become your mantra. You do not need to rush healing. You only need to trust that with each breath, each step, you are moving closer to clarity. A strong mind also learns to listen, not just to the noise of the world, but to the quiet voice within. Ask yourself, what do I truly need right now? Sometimes the answer is rest, sometimes courage, sometimes forgiveness. And when you honor that inner voice, you create peace. Think of this. How many times have you judged yourself too harshly, calling yourself lazy, unworthy, or broken? What if instead you treated yourself as you would treat a dear friend, with patience, with encouragement, with love? That shift alone can transform how you face life's storms. A strong mind is not born, it is built. And it is built not by avoiding storms, but by learning how to dance in the rain. So if your heart feels heavy today, remind yourself this is not the end. This is a beginning. This pain is the soil, and from it, strength will grow. The ancient Stoics understood this deeply. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." They taught that our struggles are not defined by the events themselves, but by the judgments we place upon them. Marcus Aurelius, burdened with the weight of an empire, reminded himself that a strong mind is a mind disciplined to distinguish between what can and cannot be controlled. And Epictetus, once a slave, taught that true freedom lies not in external power, but in mastery of the self. When we embrace their wisdom, we see that strength is not hardness, it is clarity. It is choosing patience when anger arises, courage when fear whispers, and wisdom when confusion clouds our vision. To live with a strong mind, as the Stoics did, is to live free, anchored not in the shifting storms of the world, but in the unshakable calm of inner mastery. Building a strong mind is not a one-time decision. It is a journey, a practice that grows slowly, like planting a seed and patiently waiting for it to take root. Many of us want quick solutions, a phrase that makes the pain vanish, a routine that guarantees peace, a secret formula to success. But life doesn't work that way. Just as a muscle needs regular exercise to grow, the mind requires consistent training. And unlike lifting weights, this training is often invisible to others. It takes place quietly in the private corners of your thoughts and choices. The first step on this path is reflection. When challenges arrive, instead of rushing to act or react, pause. Ask yourself, what exactly am I feeling right now? Why is this affecting me so deeply? Writing down your thoughts in a journal can be powerful. It's not about crafting perfect words, but about emptying your mind onto paper so that emotions don't remain tangled inside you. Many people discover through reflection that what seemed overwhelming is often clearer and smaller when written down. But reflection alone is not enough. A strong mind also grows through discipline. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. Think of it this way: each time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one, you strengthen trust in your own character. If you say you will walk for 10 minutes and you do it, your mind learns that your word is reliable. Over time, this consistency builds a foundation of confidence. Yet discipline has a shadow side. If misunderstood, it can turn into rigidity or self-criticism. Some people push themselves so hard in the name of discipline that they end up exhausted, disconnected, or harsh with themselves. That is not true strength. That is self-punishment wearing a mask of virtue. Real discipline is balanced. It pushes you to grow, but it also knows when to let you rest. The third element of training the mind is facing adversity rather than avoiding it. Life has a way of presenting us with trials, whether we want them or not. Avoidance may bring temporary relief, but it always postpones growth. Imagine someone who avoids conflict at all costs. They may feel peaceful in the moment, but inside unresolved tensions continue to grow. One day, those unspoken words become walls between people. On the other hand, someone who gently but firmly faces challenges, whether a difficult conversation, a financial setback, or an inner fear, creates space for healing and transformation. Let me ask you, what are you avoiding right now? Is there a truth you haven't spoken, a decision you've postponed, or a burden you've been carrying in silence? Avoidance promises safety but steals peace. Facing adversity does not mean you must confront everything at once. It means choosing one step today, one truth, one action that moves you closer to freedom. Still, even as we talk about reflection, discipline, and courage, let's remember, the path is not linear. You will have days when you feel strong and days when you collapse. That is natural. Please don't judge yourself too harshly for being human. Think of the ocean. Some days, its waves are calm. Other days, they are stormy, yet beneath the surface, the deep water remains steady. Training your mind means learning to return to that depth even when the surface feels wild. Here's one exercise you might try at the end of each day. Ask yourself 3 questions. What did I face today that made me uncomfortable? How did I respond? Did I react, avoid, or reflect? What can I try differently tomorrow? These questions don't solve everything overnight, but they gently guide your mind into awareness. Awareness is the soil from which strength grows. Now let's talk about the emotional landscape. For some of you listening right now, life feels like a heavy weight pressing on your chest. You may wonder if you'll ever feel light again. Hear this: you are not broken for feeling weary. You are not weak for needing rest. Strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the decision to keep moving even when your steps are slow. If all you can do today is breathe and whisper, "I'll try again tomorrow," then that alone is a form of courage. The positive side of walking this path is profound. You begin to notice that situations which once shattered you now leave you calm. You find yourself less reactive, more thoughtful, more resilient. People may even say, "There's something different about you. You seem grounded, peaceful." That peace becomes a gift, not only for yourself, but for everyone who crosses your path. The negative side, however, comes when someone confuses training the mind with becoming detached or indifferent. Some people use mental strength as an excuse to ignore their emotions or to cut themselves off from relationships. That is not strength, but isolation. A truly strong mind is connected. It feels deeply, but does not collapse. It loves fully, but does not lose itself. It stands firm, but not rigid. As I share this with you, I'm not speaking as someone who has never struggled. I have known fear, loss, and failure, but I've also learnt that each of those moments carried a lesson I could not have learned otherwise. And if you are in such a moment now, let me remind you, one day, you may look back on this pain and realize it was shaping you into someone you needed to become. So be patient with yourself. A strong mind is not built in one season. It is built across the seasons of your life. The seed you plant today with reflection, discipline, and courage may not bear fruit tomorrow, but it will in time. Trust that process. The ancient Stoics walked this very path. Epictetus, once enslaved, taught that discipline of the mind was the greatest freedom. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that adversity is not a curse, but an opportunity. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. And Seneca advised, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. These teachings show us that training the mind is less about avoiding hardship and more about transforming hardship into growth. When you practice reflection, discipline, and courage, you are living the very lessons that guided emperors and ordinary citizens alike. You are proving that strength is not reserved for the powerful. It belongs to anyone willing to practice it daily. This is the heart of Stoicism, not abstract philosophy, but living wisdom for every step of your journey. When you begin to strengthen your mind, something remarkable happens. At first, the changes feel small, barely noticeable. Maybe you react with a little more patience during a tense conversation. Maybe you resist the temptation to spiral into self-doubt after a setback. These moments might seem insignificant, but they are not. They are the early signs of a transformation. Over time, these small victories gather strength, and soon you find yourself standing taller, calmer, and clearer than you ever imagined. A strong mind doesn't just help you survive. It unlocks new capacities, new powers that can reshape your entire life. The first of these powers is focus. In a world of constant distraction, focus is gold. When your mind is weak, it scatters every notification, every opinion, every worry, pulls you in a different direction. You feel drained before you've even begun. But a strong mind is like a lens that concentrates light into fire. You can direct your energy toward what truly matters and let go of the noise. Think about it, how much of your stress comes not from what you must do, but from the 100 other things screaming for your attention. Focus silences that chaos. It allows you to move steadily, one step at a time. The second power is adaptability. Life never unfolds exactly as we plan. Unexpected losses, sudden changes, and disappointments arrive without invitation. A weak mind collapses under these shocks, while a strong mind adjusts. Adaptability doesn't mean you like the changes, it means you don't let them destroy you. When plans fail, you rewrite them. When doors close, you look for another entrance. This ability to adapt doesn't remove the pain of change, but it transforms the pain into a bridge to something new. The third power is creativity. Many people think creativity belongs only to artists or inventors, but that's not true. Creativity is the ability to see beyond the obvious, to find solutions where others see dead ends. And creativity only flourishes in a calm mind. When you are trapped in anxiety or self-criticism, your thoughts circle the same patterns. But when you cultivate inner stillness, your imagination wakes up. You begin to ask, what if? And those two words open entire worlds of possibility. The fourth power is leadership. And this doesn't always mean leading companies or nations. It means being someone others can trust. A strong mind radiates calm, and people naturally gravitate toward it. Think of someone in your life who makes you feel safe just by being present. That is leadership, not because they have authority, but because they have inner stability. With this strength, You become a source of light in other people's storms. Of course, like every path, these powers have both light and shadow. On the positive side, they bring confidence, clarity, and resilience. You begin to notice that your relationships improve because you listen more deeply and react less harshly. Your work becomes more meaningful because you are not constantly distracted or defeated. You find joy in small victories, peace in small moments, strength in small acts of courage. But there is a potential negative side if these powers are misunderstood. Focus without compassion can turn into obsession. Adaptability without direction can make you lose your core values. Creativity without grounding can scatter into chaos. Leadership without humility can slide into control or pride. This is why mental strength must always walk hand in hand with self-awareness. The goal is not to become invincible, it is to become human in the truest, deepest sense. Steady, kind, and wise. Let me pause here and speak to you personally. If you are listening right now and thinking, I don't feel focused, I don't feel adaptable, I don't feel like a leader, let me remind you, these capacities are not gifts given only to a chosen few. They are seeds inside you already. Perhaps they are buried under fear or fatigue, but they are there, and with patience, they will grow. I want you to imagine a moment in your life when you surprised yourself. Maybe you endured more than you thought possible. Maybe you found an idea when you believed you had none left. Maybe you held someone else together, even when you felt like falling apart. That was your strong mind at work. Even if it felt small, it proves that strength lives within you. Now the journey is to nurture it so that it becomes your natural state rather than a rare spark. To help try this practice, at the end of each week, reflect on one moment when you showed focus, adaptability, creativity, or leadership. Write it down, celebrate it. Over time, you'll see a pattern. You'll begin to realize that you are far stronger than you give yourself credit for. The path is not without its struggles. There will be days when you feel scattered, rigid, uninspired, or fragile. That is normal, but instead of condemning yourself, treat those days as reminders that training the mind is lifelong. A strong mind is not one that never falters. It is one that always returns to center. So if you feel lost, know this. Your focus can be sharpened. Your adaptability strengthened, your creativity awakened, your leadership deepened. You are not behind, and you are not broken. You are simply in the middle of your journey. And that is exactly where you are meant to be. The Stoics understood these capacities long before modern psychology. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire amidst constant turmoil, wrote daily reminders to himself about focus. Concentrate every minute like a Roman on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. Epictetus taught adaptability, reminding his students that while we cannot control events, we can always control our response. Seneca saw creativity as a tool for resilience, urging us to turn obstacles into fuel. And leadership for the Stoics was never about dominance but service, guiding others by example, rooted in inner calm. When you embody these lessons, you are not just surviving life's challenges, you are transforming them into powers that enrich your own soul and uplift those around you. This is the true gift of a strong mind, to live not in fear, but in freedom, clarity, and peace. When we've reached this point in our journey, we are no longer simply asking, what does it mean to have a strong mind? Or how can I train it? Instead, we begin to see the deeper picture. Strength of mind is not just about personal survival, but about how we live meaningfully in the world. A strong mind is not a shield that isolates you from pain. It is a compass that guides you through pain, and shows you how to use it as fuel for wisdom. Think for a moment about the struggles you carry. Maybe it's the quiet loneliness of feeling misunderstood. Maybe it's the relentless stress of trying to meet expectations that seem endless. Or maybe it's the invisible weight of regret, the thought that you should have done better, should have spoken differently, should have chosen another path. These burdens are heavy, and it's normal to feel exhausted by them. But here is the truth. Your burdens do not define you. They are only chapters, not your entire story. The main lesson here is this life is not about eliminating pain, but about transforming pain into strength. Every difficulty carries within it a seed of meaning if you are willing to look closely. Let me share something I've learned from my own struggles. The darkest moments often reveal the clearest truths. It is in crisis that we discover what truly matters, who truly cares, and how much resilience we carry within us. So how do we move from suffering to meaning? The first step is acceptance. Acceptance does not mean liking your situation or giving up on change. It means facing reality without denial. When you stop fighting against what is, your energy is free to build what can be. For example, if you lose something precious, acceptance doesn't erase grief, but it creates the space to honor your loss while still moving forward. The second step is reflection. Ask yourself, what can this moment teach me? How can this challenge refine me rather than break me? Reflection transforms pain into perspective. It shifts your focus from why me to what now. The third step is action with compassion. Many people respond to pain by closing off, by becoming harder and colder. But real strength is found in keeping the heart soft while the mind grows firm. You don't have to harden yourself to be strong. In fact, some of the strongest people are those who can remain kind even when life has not been kind to them. Of course, there are dangers if this lesson is misunderstood. On the positive side, this way of living builds resilience, peace, and wisdom. You become someone who inspires trust, who radiates calm in chaos. On the negative side, however, some people use acceptance as an excuse for passivity. They stop striving, stop dreaming, stop engaging with life. That is not true strength. That is surrender. Acceptance should never lead to stagnation. It should lead to purposeful action, rooted in clarity. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you forgave yourself? We speak often about forgiving others, but rarely about extending that same grace inward. Forgiving yourself is part of building a strong mind, because self-condemnation is a prison. If you are carrying shame, ask yourself, does holding this shame make me better? Or is it time to release it and learn from it instead? True strength is not perfection, it is growth. As we sit here together, I want you to imagine your mind as a quiet sanctuary. Inside this sanctuary, there are no accusations, no noise, no comparisons, only stillness, only breath. This sanctuary is yours to return to whenever life overwhelms you. It is not far away. It is within you, waiting for your attention. When you nurture this inner space, you carry peace with you into every situation, no matter how chaotic the outside world may be. So the lesson we must carry forward is this: build a strong mind, not just for yourself, but for the world. Your strength is not only for surviving your struggles, it is also for guiding others, for spreading calm, for living as a reminder that peace is possible, even in storms. This is how we leave behind something good, something that others will remember long after us, not through wealth or recognition, but through the way we lived with courage and compassion. The ancient Stoics lived by this very truth. Marcus Aurelius, facing endless wars and political turmoil, reminded himself daily that he could not control the world, but he could control his mind. Seneca taught that difficulties were not enemies, but exercises. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor strengthens the body. Epictetus, born a slave, declared that true freedom is found in the mastery of one's thoughts. What do these lessons mean for us today? They remind us that suffering is universal, but so is resilience. They remind us that wisdom is not born from comfort, but from challenge. And they remind us that the calm we cultivate within ourselves can ripple outward, healing not only our own lives, but also the lives of those we touch. This is the legacy of Stoicism, and it can be your legacy too, to live strong, to live wise, to live free. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to pause for a moment and simply breathe. Inhale slowly and let the air remind you that you are still here, still standing, still capable of so much more than you realize. Exhale gently, and with that breath, release even a little of the heaviness you've been carrying. You've given yourself the gift of time to reflect, time to listen, time to nurture your inner strength. That is no small thing. Remember, building a strong mind is not about becoming unshakable overnight. It's not about pretending that life will always be easy or that you will never struggle again. It is about creating a steady foundation inside yourself, a place of calm that you can return to when the storms of life rise. And if there's one truth you carry with you after this video, let it be this: you are not defined by your struggles. You are defined by the way you rise from them. I know some of you are listening right now while going through your own private battles, perhaps heartbreak, perhaps financial stress, perhaps the simple exhaustion of carrying too many responsibilities. Please know this: you are not alone. Even in your quietest moments, there are countless others walking a similar path, and there is strength in remembering that we share this human journey. I hope you feel a sense of comfort here, like sitting with a friend who understands without judgment. The road ahead will not always be smooth, but you are more prepared than you think. You have tools now: reflection, discipline, acceptance, resilience. You have reminders from ancient wisdom that no matter how dark the night, there is always a way to walk through it with dignity and courage. And most importantly, you have within you a quiet strength, a sanctuary of peace that can never be taken from you. As you move forward, I invite you to share a little of your journey with us. In the comments, let us know. Where are you watching from? What time is it for you as you listen to this message? And what part of today's reflection spoke most deeply to your heart? Your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear tonight. Thank you truly for spending this time together. May you carry peace into your days and rest into your nights. May your body be healthy, your mind be calm, and your heart be light. And may you always remember you are stronger than you know and more capable than you believe. Until we meet again, take care of yourself, warrior. Stay gentle, stay strong, and stay true. I send you warmth, health, and peace wherever you are in this vast world.